Welcome again to Wickerson Studios. I am focused pretty hard and fast on Rhino development. If you have a chance to go into here, I really recommend going into the samples, going into Rhino Common, and I'm starting basically at the start, jumping in and grabbing a script, going over to Python, and literally cutting and pasting that script. First, I'll cut and paste it into my First, I'll take it over here and put it into my tools, my script editor, and ensure that it's working and running fine. And if I run that, it'll come up with Rhino Common right here. So that script's working. Then I will cut and paste that text and put it over into a Grasshopper node. And my goal is to take that script, if we have a look here, red means stop and go into the Grasshopper node and see what's happening. I literally went in and cut and pasted it right into here. And without the quotes, it was running exactly the same as it was running here, but it was not coming out, obviously, in my Rhino window. And I should be obvious to me, but it wasn't, because I'm very new to this and I'm learning this solely on my own. I kind of wish I had a tutor online when it comes to using Ghpython, and Jeremy Graham is about the only one I've found so far, and of course others are dealing in C, and you have to figure it out on your own. You have to make sense of it by yourself. So hopefully I can be a help to anybody that wants to get into this, and I'll be a couple of steps ahead of you at best. What I then ended up doing was I brought the script in and I wrote it again, and I found that if I switched over the script context doc to active doc before the objects, I was able to run that, and that same script that was here would run the same through my Grasshopper node and produce an ID. And then basically that would come out as that annotated, what is it called? Oh, I took it away. The first script was called and referred to an annotation text. So that's what I'm working on. Then I took it and I tried to pare it down to what it could be for me in Grasshopper in one single node and making it parametric. So what we have here is erasing all of these incredible texts. I have these points, which I could clear the values. And what's nice is it's a simple script that you can change the height. It'll bake differently. You can put in any text you want. So it's not hard-coded into this script. And you can change the, quite honestly, the font just by typing in a different font type. Pretty amazing stuff. So if I run this, it has a trouble running because it's saying, I have nowhere to put it. It's got no 0.3Ds. So all you have to do is jump into here and go point, 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 and celebrate your existence by simply selecting all values, just like you're working in a Python node. Select multiple points and hitting enter. I am so great, I am so great, I am so great. Now what's nice about that is if I change the size, think about this geometrically. I can change the font by typing it differently. I can change the text by typing in something different. I could have it face all of that, and those points are gone. Of course, I have to put my points back in, and you don't want to have to get into all that. Select all those points and it would run, but what if I just ran Helvetica as a text in Helvetica and select all the points, and there they are. They all run. Now what's interesting is when you start to move this, it generates again. So you've got some really cool geometric functions if you think of actually letters as being surfaces around curves. This is going to blow up on the creative level of things for me. And at this point, to develop and to research and develop, it's now you've got to take a backseat to creatively what is going on here. So if I rotate those points and throw them in like that, they're always coming up on that plane. But I'm able to, from a simple Python node in creating Rhino geometries, which have to be a text entity, I can also totally blow them up into their sizes and scales. And they bake every time I run them or anytime I change anything in here. So if I change my text over here, edit, and run this up to a full size 7, I'll probably have to run my script again to do that. And what did I do wrong? Oh, of course, I took my points out. So go back in, generate your points, and you change your text. Grab those, input them in as selecting one item. And of course, you can produce your letters any way you want. I'm going to change this font size to, what shall I do? Well, I could go back in and I can move my points. But of course, every time, and I can move them up here and generate those shapes. But if I wanted to erase all these bottom ones, well, You just have to play around with that. I mean, if I went in here and then generated and actually wanted to begin with something, if I edit that script and take that up to a huge count, maybe take it up to 20, and then run it again, it's going to produce that right over top. So you've got a pretty cool machine for generating geometries. And of course, I'm just bringing in points because this is a text-based script. But look at how simple and small that script is that I actually pared it down to. Making a plane, which you could actually have your plane be totally parametric as well. There's no reason to have the plane be set to all of this construction plane in the active viewport and the point plane origin being at that point. You could throw in another parameter as a point in here. And that's an exercise I'll leave for you to kind of do. Just keep in mind that if you bring it in, type in, you're going to have to set everything to what it is. And let's just leave this open. And for those that want to get back to me and realize that I am a creative individual having a lot of fun with learning Rhino Common and what that actually means for programming, I've just taken my point out again. We'll just end with one little point. And just to make my point, and set one point, bam, and the point is set to there. And there you go. And you've actually started running some scripts and seeing how you can get it into the command line, which I think is pretty exciting. It's all new to me. It's all opening up millions of opportunities as to what you could do artistically with this, text-based, geometry-based, product-based, building-based. These little tiny scripted nodes are going to be wonderful. So I'm going back in to definitely here. I'll be jumping back and I'll go into arrowheads to curves. I'll cut and paste that script. I'll find a way to bring that into my window and see how I can actually build one thing upon the other. This is not actually a function that runs. This is in C. So I definitely, now you can see it's a function that runs called object decoration. So that'll be my next little task. I'll take this one step at a time, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like my research and what I'm playing around with, and you can have fun in and of yourself. And I can just pop that text over there, and there we go. I just popped the text on top of the text. Now, whether I can grab one or both, that's the issue. Why am I? Wonder what happens if I just select the H. Oh, there we go. Got I am so great pulled off, and there we go. We get two geometries to play with, and 2 points that are played off of it and baked. It's kind of a fun process. If I ran this down, I'll just do this again for your sake and make a very small script. There it is generated there. I am so great once again, which makes me feel pretty good. Exit out of that. Get my Helvetica slid over. And we're just typing in whatever we want, generating these line-based surfaces which actually happen to be text and have meaning. So try and conceptually wrap your head around that and have fun. Rhino, Grasshopper, Python, into the scripts. Thanks for watching.